Hey, hello. Today we are going to see how to print such a star like a pattern like this, and like this. Now I'm going to show you the easiest way to print such a patterns. Okay, so let's consider uh, integer I is equal to integer n is equal to 5, right? Later on you can change this value from 5 to any other as well. Okay, so what I'll do is first I will try to print such a pattern, right? So I know this if I use two for loops. So using two for loops I can easily print this pattern. So let me just show you that. So let's create a new program here, new Java class. So let's say star demos. Here it is. One second. Public static void main. So here say integer n is equal to 5. Okay, later on you can change this number as well, so that you can get multiple or many number of rows with the corresponding number of stars. So let's write two for loops. One for loop will be outer, so let's say integer I is equal to 0, I is less than n. Let's say I will start from 1 and less than or equal to n, then I plus plus. Okay, and inside this again another for loop I will use. So this for loop I will write for integer j is equal to 0, j is less than or equal to n, j again I should start it from 1. Okay, and then j plus plus. Okay, and here we will simply print the stars. Okay, and if I don't use ln, you will see that all the 5 into 5 means 25 stars, all of them it will print on one single line, you see here. But I want a new line after first row is printed, so I can get a new line here. Also have some space in between the adjacent starts. Now see, so a pattern like this is printed. Okay, so now let's suppose I want to print this type of pattern. Okay, so here you can observe that on first row one star. Okay, on first row one star, on second row 2 stars, on third row 3 stars, on fourth row 4 stars, and on fifth row 5 stars. Okay, in this way this pattern is printed. So what I'll do is because I have one more for loop, outer for loop, wherein it starts from 1 to 5. N is the value, it n holds the value 5, so it goes from 1 to 5. So if I make it 1 instead of if I make it I instead of n, so what will happen in the first iteration? It will print only 1 star because the value of the I it is 1. In the second iteration, when the value of the I it will become 2, so it will do 2 iterations and 2 stars will be printed, and so on. So let's verify whether it works or not. So right click and run. Yes, I can see the stars are printed like this here. Fine. uh, Now let's see how to print this kind of pattern. Okay, so here you see some spaces are there, right? So total there are 5 stars, right? So 4 spaces 1 star, 3 spaces 2 stars, 2 spaces 3 stars, 1 space 4 stars, 0 spaces 5 stars, right? So it is quite like this. So I can say here 1 space 4 space and 1 star. Okay, and similarly here it is three spaces, two stars. Then here it is two spaces, three stars. Then here it is one space, four stars, and here it is zero spaces, five stars, right? So if you just carefully observe, there is a significant relation here. So 4 and 1. So 1, let's assume that it starts from, let's say, I 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can use the variable I here for 1 star. And 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So here I can use something like, let's say, n minus I. Okay. So n minus I star space and I star. If you just try to see this, we can generalize this in this way. So n minus I, let's say value of I is going to be changed from 1 to 5. So whatever the value of I, it will be there. So 5 minus 1, 5 minus 2, 5 minus 3, and up to this, right? And the I, it will be printed. So what I'll do is, first I will print n minus I spaces and then I stars. Okay, so let me just again use the same for loop here. I'll just comment the earlier for loop here. So just see, now along with the star, I will have some spaces. Okay, so this will be a space, and here j will start from 1 till n minus I. Okay, so n minus I spaces, it will be printed, and then j is equal to 1, and j will start from 1, and again whatever the value of I, it will be there. So those mini stars, it will print. So right click and run. Let's verify this. You see, so this kind of pattern, it is printed. Okay, again, for if you want to print this kind of pattern, so we have a very simple little bit trick. Just have a space in between this. Okay, and right click and run. You see, so this pattern of the star, it is printed. Fine. So this is all about how to print the star like a pattern.